Well, hello there, everybody. If you guys are anything like me, you've probably been waiting for a Vietnam-based, turn-based strategy game for a long time, and it's finally here from Slytherin Limited, Vietnam 65. I'm going to give you guys a basic rundown of what to expect in this game, so you understand exactly what you're buying, so you can make your ultimate decision on a purchase. Right away, I love the sound of the helicopters. They just sound great. The first thing I'm going to, of course, show you is the uniform. This is a cool feature, and essentially, it just allows you to accumulate medals that are pinned onto your uniform by doing any number of different things in the game, and that's where I'm going to really get to it. What is Vietnam 65 and how is it played? Every single game is different. The starting location is usually in the east of the country. We're going to go ahead and start a new game, and we're going to hit regular just because I'm just kind of showing you guys what to expect. Now, this is the operational map. If you guys take a look at the operational map, you'll see that there's all these yellow flags. Those are actually South Vietnamese flags. So that means that those villages, as of right now, are under our control. This game takes 45 turns, and in those 45 turns, you have to have more political control of the area than the NVA or the Viet Cong. Our enemies, essentially. Ideological enemies of the United States. So we're going to go ahead and get into the game, and I'll show you how it starts. We click here on the map. And of course, these villages, just like in the Vietnam War, can be used to gather intelligence. They can also be attacked by the enemy, burned down, etc. I guess I was kind of hoping for us to be able to do the same, but unfortunately, burning down villages is not an option in the game. You can't even set ambushes around. Now, the way it usually works is you start off with a certain level of political support here. We have 12,500, and what you want to obviously do is start moving around the map and looking for North Vietnamese bases, North Vietnamese troops, etc., in trying to basically wrest control from them to take over the village. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and you can just go anywhere. Right away in the beginning of the game, you really have no idea where the enemy is, which is just awesome and very much like the actual Vietnam War. We're going to get our infantry up first, and as you can see, they all jump into the helicopter, which I think is an awesome feature. The first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drop off some of my infantry over here in front of this village so they can go ahead and start questioning the locals. Just by going into a village, you will get information often from the locals, although your chances of getting information are lowered depending on their political affiliation. So if they like the NVA, it's very unlikely. Let's go ahead and move in. No new intel. So essentially that means we've got nothing. We're going to send these guys on a jungle patrol, and obviously this can get dangerous in the game, but it is part of the Vietnam War. Once we locate those NVA bases, we need to destroy them, and that's going to gain us more political support, as well as more hearts and minds, is what it's called, amongst the people. You guys can see in the upper top corner, right now our hearts and minds are at 50, which means that we are winning. If we get that above 60, that'll actually turn it into an American flag, and that's really the goal. So let's go ahead, let's get this other Huey. We're going to go ahead and pick up another unit, guys. Once again, you just click here to pick up your unit, and this time we'll take a green beret. And now, one problem about green berets, as far as I know, they cannot gather intel from a village, but they can scare the hell out of the enemy, and they can definitely scout around. As you can see, we're not going to be able to drop this guy off this turn, and we can only drop him off in an area that has land. You can't drop guys off in a chopper in the jungle. It just doesn't work. So let's go ahead. We're going to get another Huey up here. We're going to load him up with some troops, infantry, and we're going to move these guys to a farther village. Why not? We're going to start going up here. I won't actually drop them off yet. I'll drop them off next turn. And once we go back here, the most important thing in the entire game, guys, is this M113 Engineer. This thing is extremely important, and what it allows you to do is build fire bases in between where your troops are and where your main base is. And these fire bases allow you to build howitzer guns, or they come built with howitzer guns. So if any NVA are spotted in the area, you can go ahead and unload on them. And believe me, those howitzers are going to hit their mark 9 times out of 10. We do have the ability to ask for reinforcements, so I'm actually going to buy another Huey because we do have more troops. I'm going to go ahead and load up some more infantry units, and these guys are going to go to an even different part of the map. Sometimes it's good to actually keep your guys together in a certain part of the map in case they come into contact, but really it's much better to just build a fire base close by in between all the villages so that you can always go back there to resupply, and I think that's what I'm planning to do. Let's take a look here. Let's go ahead and buy some more infantry. And we'll also buy another Huey. So we've got a lot of things into play right now. Let's go ahead and load this up. And this infantry I'm actually going to go ahead and send over here with the Green Berets. Let's send them over. So then, after you're done with this, guys, you want to go ahead and you want to end your turn. Some units have not acted. We'll go ahead, if you want to take a look and see what units haven't acted, you just cycle through. And right now it looks like our howitzer hasn't fired, but there are no units, or enemy units in our vicinity, so there would really be no point, as you guys can see. So we're going to go ahead and end our turn.
Some units have no orders.
And just click it again, and here we go. Enemy forces are mobilizing. Now, I will warn you, in this game, combat does not start right away. We do know that activity report tells us that there's one Viet Cong cadre, one NVA unit in the sector, but we don't know where they are, and it could take a long time to actually make contact. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and drop these guys off. Let's drop these guys off right here. These are our Green Berets. And also, Green Berets have the ability to train ARVN units. ARVN units are South Vietnamese units, which really help us. They're able to get political support from the villages, and just a lot of intel, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and drop these guys off too, and I'm going to drop these guys right about here next to this village so we can get some intelligence. If not this turn, next turn.
Unit moving out.
Okay.
Unit en route.
So for now, these guys are just kind of hanging out. Another way that you gain hearts and minds among the villagers is often the Viet Cong will leave mines, all sorts of things around the villages. If you can clear the mines from the village, the people are really going to respect you. So we're obviously going to send this guy back, get him back to base, and let's try to get that fire base up. I want to put it in a decent location, so I'm actually going to make these guys go over here to build it, and then we can go ahead and get started on that. Okay, let's take a look. Make sure we've moved all our units. Move this one into the village, but I don't think they're able to do anything. We'll check.
Unit moving out.
No, they can't. So we're going to go ahead and move them across the river here. And as for our infantry units, we just want to get these guys as close to the villages as we can. We've already checked up on this village. Nothing to report, so we're just going to continue through the jungle and hope we don't come across any enemy troops. Let's take a look at these guys. They probably want to be dropped off too, so we're going to go ahead and drop them off at this village right here. Once again, after that happens, you obviously want to bring your helicopter back to base because they do run out of fuel, etc., and that is not a good thing. Let's go ahead and move in. No new intel. So right now the people are pretty unaware, but as the game progresses, they really start giving you specific intel. They could give you the location of an NVA base, etc. It gets really awesome. So let's go ahead and end our turn. Make sure that we don't have anything. I guess we can move these guys. Yeah, we'll move these guys out of the village and end our turn.
Units have no orders. Unit moving to coordinates. No new intel.
No new intel from this village either, so we can continue through the jungle or just down the road. And at any point, we could obviously take these troops back to base, but that's just not something we really want to do right now. We'll load them up next turn and move them elsewhere. Let's end our turn.
Some units have no orders.
That's okay. Okay, there we go, guys. We got our first enemy attack, and as you can see, the enemy just basically come out of nowhere and run back into the jungle. So they actually attacked our engineer truck. Now, that's frightening. We definitely need to react to that threat. So we're going to move forward, and we're going to try to find them if we can. So far, nothing. They may very well have gone back into the jungle or even run out somewhere over here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I could spot them with the chopper, but often you can't find these guys. And had they stayed put, we would have probably been able to go ahead and launch an airstrike against them, which would have definitely wiped them out. Also, losing units in this game does lower your political control. That's something we don't want to happen. Okay, we spotted some units, guys. So as you can see, the intelligence report has let us know that there's a VC cadre in a village quite close by over here. And there's a number of different ways we could actually deal with this situation. Now, what I think I want to try, if I can, we may not be able to, but we're going to go ahead and load up these troops here, and I'm going to try to drop them off near that VC squadron. I don't think we can get close enough, but we certainly can try. Let's drop these guys off. Yeah, we can't drop them this time, but what we can do, guys, and I want you to watch the political capital meter up here. We're going to take one of our airstrikes. That takes a while to get these. You can select any tile on the map. Boom! And there we go. Destroyed a VC cadre and gained a ton of political capital. and that's very, very important. Now, hopefully, my machine here can actually still build something. I'm hoping it can, but it's probably going to have to wait till next turn. Now, once you build a fire base, you can resupply your troops there, or resupply your Hueys there, etc. But the whole point of this actual game is to just do your best to win the hearts and minds of the people around you, like in the real Vietnam War, and ultimately, after 45 turns, have control of the map. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this was an informative first look, and I hope it helped you understand the game and made you decide whether or not you want to get it. My opinion, it's an awesome, awesome game. It's different every time you play it, and extremely hectic, just like the real Vietnam War. I highly recommend purchasing it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have an awesome day.